Hello, beautiful strangers, and welcome back to another episode of Sakura no Mori Dreamers. When last we left off, we had some nice, cute little moments with our sister. I'm not quite sure if we know what she is, because, I mean, we call her mother anyway, Miss Miyako, and we have different names. Also, it bothers me that they're using Western honorifics instead of Japanese honorifics because, well, I like knowing the difference between if he's using san or sama or what the fuck ever. I like knowing that just because Japanese honorifics are a bit more in depth than American ones, like Miss, Mrs., Mr., Miss. That's it. That's all you get from Americans. But I would like to know if he's using something like san or sama or sensei or chan or kun or chama or something, you know, whatever other fucking honorifics I'm missing, hime, whatnot. I like stuff like that. It sets the tone better as well. Honestly, if you're not gonna use it, I'd rather have either no honorifics at all, which I don't like at all, but I would rather have that over Miss, Mr., Mrs., because that kind of misses the point than, you know, having honor, whatever. I'm rambling. Let's get back into it, shall we? New students and their guardians flocked around the school gates. I could barely believe I was one of them last year. Ninja ceremony's in the gymnasium, right? I think we'll have to part ways for the time being. Yeah, see you. Bye-bye. I'm curious. I don't actually know if it'll play. No, she actually did use bye-bye. Because I was just curious if you used sayonara or ciao or something like that. Because I've watched a lot of just generic random shit about like real people in Japan, and they use sayonara a lot. And they use bye-bye a lot, and they use ciao a lot. Well, some of them use ciao a lot. Anyway, we watched the two walk together toward the gym for a while, then moved to the notice board with our new class listings. Oh, here we are. We're in the same class again. Huh? Really? Oh. There was no way she'd be lying about it, but there was a reason why I asked anyway. At this point, I can't help but feel this is fate or something. Tell me about it. Been in the same class since our first year in elementary school. Must be nice. It may have been about time we considered contacting Guinness Records. And it's actually kind of funny because I have a fucking case of Guinness sitting next to my feet, or a six-pack of Guinness and a case of Guinness, like a foot and a half to my left. Anyway, I thought we'd finally be separated once we got into Sakura Academy. I mean, there are far more classes here, right? Hi, kitten. Hi, pretty girl. Can I help you with something? Or, well, you know what time it is, but, you know, we'll play after I finish recording. And yet we still ended up in the same place 2 years in a row. That's pretty incredible, isn't it? What do you want to do now? Head over to the classroom? It's not like we've got anything else to do. And so we headed to the new classroom, our new second home for the following year. Good at dealing with people, aren't you? Huh? What? No, remember what you were saying about Hatsune's uniform earlier? I explained to her that it didn't occur to me to compliment Hatsune until Miss Miyako gave me a hint. Oh, I didn't say it because I consciously thought about it. You mean it came out naturally? Your honest opinion? I guess the nuance is a bit different, but girls tend to compliment each other without thinking too much about it. Like if someone appears with a slightly different hairstyle or carries a bag we'd never seen before. We'd react to things like that right away and give our impressions. It's kind of natural communication between us. Oh, bag, hairstyle? I barely even noticed if any of my female friends changed these. Well, that's how guys are, I think. Well, some guys. I sort of notice stuff like that. I tend to try to pay attention to my surroundings a lot. I tend to notice changes a lot. Because I mean, I don't have my like head on a swivel, but I I like to be aware of my surroundings and what people look like in just generalness, and I tend to notice changes a bit more frequently. At least I used to. That hasn't come up in a while, to be fair. But I used to, and not in like, I can't guarantee that I would actually say something if I did notice, unless, I mean, it depends on my relationship with that person, how close I am or am not to them. But yeah, I feel like I notice stuff like that. The funny thing is, when I'm reading, especially with manga, I'm reading that so quick that I don't actually tend to notice minute changes in between panels and stuff. Just because I'm reading it so quickly and I'm just skimming over art and stuff, and I kind of miss stuff. I will frequently stop myself, especially if I go and read about people, what they're talking about, and it's like, oh, the subtleness between this panel, the subtle changes that they slowly made to warp this into this as it went on. It's like, it's so cool. It's like, oh, I didn't notice that. I just kind of inferred that from what they were talking about, and I'll go back and look at the panel. It's like, oh yeah, that is cool, isn't it? So I'm going to try to pay attention to stuff like that in this, but I can't promise that. Also, her hair is very long. I didn't notice that before. Or maybe I did and I just didn't think about it. But yeah, I don't like that kind of hairstyle because it kind of looks like she has short hair and then just a single strand basically of super long hair. And that's not a hairstyle that looks particularly good in person. Looks fine here, probably. What it probably will end up being is that she has all the entire back of her hair, and she basically has a not exactly a mullet, but more or less, where it's just the kind of the front portion of her, like where bangs and framing her face is shorter, and then the rest of her hair is long, despite how it kind of looks in this. Whatever. I'm thinking too much on character design. Is it not so? No. I vaguely shook my head. I felt like there was something off about what she said. Oh, no one's here yet. I wonder which seat I'll get this time. Madoka traced her fingers against the surface of the desks as she walked among the seats. I had nothing to do, so I just began fiddling with my smartphone. People started gathering in the classroom after a while. Hey, looks like we're in the same class again. Sabe. Sabai. I'm just going to call you Sabe, because I'm not going to call you anything else. Also, you look a bit like an asshole, but, you know, I think that's just character design, just generic jackassy kind of reminds me of, was it Kenji from Persona 3? The magician arcana, your best friend, quote unquote, kind of looked like dickish to me, and then I kind of didn't care anymore. Well, actually, I did think he was kind of dickish. I didn't really like him as a character, but we don't need to think about that too much. This isn't a Persona 3 playthrough. I'm not doing one of those yet. Not yet. I want to in the future, maybe, but not right now. It's fucking long. Sabe. Sabe was my best friend in class last year. It also probably doesn't help that I know of a streamer that goes by Bay, but whatever. It seemed like my luck was pretty good this semester. So you were friends? Yeah, best friends. Okay. I have this problem in most visual novels that I read. I end up hating the best friend of the main characters. Not all of them. Like, I keep fucking bumping my mouse. That's so annoying. I don't know what the difference is between now and normal. But yeah, I usually end up disliking them. Like, I hated, in what I read of Katawa Shoujo, I hated, which I think he was made to be hated, the fucking frog guy, whatever the fuck his name was. I didn't really like Kenji in Persona 3. Yosuke in Persona 4 was fine, I guess. I don't remember much about any character being super interesting. I did like Ryuji in Persona 5, so there's that. But I mean, like, Shinji and Fate. Fucking hate that guy. I hated Arihiko. Or I didn't hate Arihiko. I disliked Arihiko and Tsukihime. I'm blank. It doesn't matter. I've read other visual novels where I like the character friends, but more often than not, I dislike them. Anyway, Sabe sat down on the chair next to me and leaned against the backrest with his elbow. How did you spend your spring break? Just cycled most of the time. Oh, you said you liked that. Did you do that all on your own? Invite me next time. Sheesh. Huh? I didn't know you had a road bike. I have a city bike. Oh, then it's probably not such a good idea. Besides, I'm not cycling alone. Whoa, who are you cycling with? I don't remember anyone being into it besides you. I nodded in Madoka's direction. Huh? Who's that again? Yoshizawa? No, the one next to her. Akitsu Madoka. What about her? Can't you tell just from the flow of the conversation? She's the one that rode with me. Eh? Huh? Don't tell me you two were dating all along. No, we're childhood friends. Have I never told you? Oh. What are you acting all relieved for? We're childhood friends, huh? That's still pretty damn nice. Why? Just look at how hot she is. Sheesh. Huh? I looked at Sebe's face as though he'd just started speaking a foreign language. What are you hugging me for? She's hot, isn't she? I don't know. I never thought of it. I turned to Madoka's direction. She was standing beside the window and talking with a girl that Sebe called Yoshizawa. You don't need to think about it. Feel it. No reaction? Are you trying to make me feel miserable? Don't tell me you're the kind that's only interested in anime characters or something. Anime? I don't watch much. Yeah, me neither. Then games like Moege and stuff? I don't really like Moege, but I mean, I'm trying to get into some here and there, but usually what ends up happening is I get to nothing happening and I get kind of bored and stop reading. I barely play any since I started cycling. That's not it. I thought that was why you were so unresponsive. I get it. It's that tough guy, right? You sure you do? Nah, that's not what I'm talking about now. The bell rung and the teacher entered the classroom. Good morning. I'd like to take attendance first. We'll pick our seats after the ceremony, so just sit wherever you like for now. I was thinking about what Sebe told me while the teacher did the roll call. I'd never looked at Madoka in that way. Was it because we were childhood friends? You know, neutron star. What would any type of anime, manga, visual novel, light novel, webcomic, whatever, what would any of that be without a dense MC? Though I do like that, I love it when they're not and it subverts the tropes and all that. Anyway. And with that, classes were over. Freshmen had only the entrance ceremony and homeroom while we already had classes. Let's go to the arcade. Arcade? What's wrong? You don't want to? There are no games I really feel like playing at the moment, but fine. I stood up. I didn't see Sebe through the entire break, so I figured I might as well use this opportunity to hang out with him for the first time in a long time. I'd have joined a cycling club if our school had one, but unfortunately, it doesn't. I think my high school technically had cycling, but it was part of the track team or something. I'm not sure though. I was also partial to books, so I ended up participating in the literature club, but I barely showed up anymore. Hey, don't do that to Monica. Madoka belonged to the volleyball club, only I was a bit more interested in ball sports. By the way, could it be Fukigami Hatsune is related to you? She's kind of my younger sister. Kinda, huh? Well, getting a bit more of a sign on who she is. Okay. That kinda should have piqued Sebe's interest, but he didn't seem to notice it. Oh, I see. Then introduce us next time. Huh? Why? I heard she's incredibly cute. According to him, a couple of guys actually split into groups and went to check out the freshmen. Yeah, my school, granted, whenever I was in high school, we switched classes and teachers stayed in the same class, students had to go whatever fucking class they had to go to. But that was never really a thing outside of like the occasional like group of a couple of like super creepy pervy people that nobody really liked other than the other super creepy people. I curled my lips into an awkward smile. I'm impressed you guys would go that far. You can't help curiosity. Yes, you can. You know what they say about curiosity and cats, right? But damn, at least give me a heads up if you've got a cute sister. Sheesh. What are you, a fucking Twitch streamer? Stop saying sheesh. He lightly elbowed my side. Introduce us next time. No thanks. I'm going to look after her, so I'm definitely not introducing her to anyone with such an obvious ulterior motive. Whoa, you sound real responsible. He seemed to be half making fun of me, half genuinely surprised. I did feel that I might have been looking out for Hatsune a bit too seriously myself. It was probably related to the fact that Hatsune was actually my stepsister, not a blood-related one. After that, we killed some time in the arcade. Well then, see you tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, see ya. I'm home. I addressed the empty house. Hi, cat. I laid down on the bed and waited for two to come over as I read through the biking magazine I'd already been through multiple times already. How was school? Not that you've had much time to take it all in. You didn't even have any classes today, right? Yeah, I ended up in the same class as Emmy. We were really happy about that. Emmy. I'd never actually met her, but I heard the name come up in conversations lately. Can I help you, Kat? Is there something you would like? Well, other than the obvious, I guess. I'm so happy for you. Yeah. Madoka said it too, but if there's anything that's giving you trouble, feel free to let us know. I'll play after I finish recording, I promise. I wondered if that was another one of those responsible statements. Though I didn't feel like I was forcing myself, it just came out naturally. Okay, thanks, Shinji. And a weird guy might try to hit on you at some point, so be careful. Oh my, are there people like that in your school? No, I think you misunderstood. Now I couldn't introduce him as my friend. All you said was weird guy, no, whatever. Sube was a nice guy as far as I knew, so there was little to worry about with him, but I couldn't vouch for his other friends. I'm home. I saw the two off to their apartment as usual and had some small talk with Madoka when I got back. As per our usual habit. Did you finish your homework in time? Yeah, I did. Phew. It just sucked if I got the teachers angry on the first day. I couldn't help growing a bit conscious of her otherwise familiar face today. You really want my attention, don't you, Kat? Eventually noticing my gaze, Madoka cocked her head. Do I have something on my face? She told me to wait and disappeared from the window. There's nothing there. I didn't even say anything. Madoka chuckled as I averted my eyes. Is something bothering you, young man? Whose impression is that? I tried being the person who looks at your palm in front of the station, but was I off? Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not bothered by anything, and even if I were, I wouldn't be telling you about it. Dick. Now you said it. I won't listen even if you beg me. It's fine, because I won't be telling you anyway. We glared at each other for a while, then broke into laughter at the same time. No doubt the reason I couldn't be open with her was because she was my childhood friend. Or the reason I could be open with her was because she was my childhood friend. Excuse me. There were no other girls I felt comfortable with speaking like that. Are Are you sure you're okay, though? You're acting a bit strange today, Shinji. Sorry. I started to feel guilty about it. Do you remember an older friend of mine named Hide? Yeah, I don't know what he looks like, but you've mentioned he was kind of like Winnie the Pooh or something? That. It seems like he finally found employment at a place that won't kick him out right away. I was kind of relieved to see it. Oh, really? That's good. Yeah, for sure. We continued to talk about nothing until Madoka's mother finally called her down to take a bath. We talked through our windows almost every night, but we barely ever communicated at school. I never really thought of it much before, but I suppose we were unconsciously trying to avoid being made fun of by our friends for it. Shorter episode, I know, but this feels like a nice stopping point. What are you doing, cat? Anyway, I think I'm going to end this episode here. Next time, the comfy slice of life goes on with no bad things happening ever. Ever. This is just a nice, happy slice of life. Don't read any of the tags on VNDB. This is just a nice, happy slice of life. Trust me, I would never lie, especially not about something like that. Anyway, I hope to see you all next time.